Well, it took more than a few weeks for Jim Bakker to fall, but tonight he stands guilty, banished from his religious empire and its millions, and facing an uncertain future in prison.
Celebrity scandals in the 1980s were loud, relentless, and weirdly unforgettable, because this was the era when TV truly took over the culture and the tabloids became a daily habit. MTV turned pop stars into moving images you could not ignore, while talk shows and news coverage learned that a messy headline could travel faster than any hit song. In that atmosphere, fame came with a new kind of risk. One controversial video, one reckless night out, or one leaked piece of personal business could turn a rising star into a cautionary tale by the next morning. Today, we're digging into 10 of the biggest celebrity scandals of the 1980s, from career-threatening controversies to moments of pure public humiliation, and we are saving the most embarrassing one for last. Brooke Shields Calvin Klein ad controversy.
The secret of life lies hidden in a genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. Occasionally, certain conditions produce a structural change in the gene, which will bring about the process of evolution.
They knew exactly what they were doing, and I think it did set the tone for decades.
Brooke Shields became the face of a Calvin Klein campaign that quickly turned into a national argument. She was only 15 when the ad leaned into suggestive wording, including the famous line about what comes between her and her Calvins. Some networks, including CBS, refused to run the commercial, and critics accused it of sexualizing a minor, while defenders framed it as edgy fashion. Shields later said she did not read it as sexual at the time and felt naive about what adults were projecting onto it. Even with the backlash, the campaign became an enduring pop culture reference. Madonna, Like a Prayer, Vatican Backlash.
The video deals in shocking imagery, I mean, you don't see a half-clad woman dancing in front of burning crosses all that often on television.
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home.
By 1989, Madonna landed a major Pepsi endorsement and then detonated it with the Like a Prayer video. The clip used religious imagery like burning crosses in a church setting, which some viewers read as social commentary and others read as blasphemy. Pope John Paul II publicly denounced the video and called for a boycott, and protest groups widened the target to Pepsi too, right as the company was airing ads tied to the song. Pepsi backed away from the campaign to escape the backlash, but Madonna still kept the money from the deal, turning the controversy into a headline win either way. Vanessa Williams' Miss America nude photo scandal.
You're beautiful. Do you mind if I do some photos of you? No one will see them. I agree. Then, you know what? I've got a friend. Can she come over? I'd like to do some black and white shots in silhouette. No one will see you. Fine, fine. And again, after I've worked there and feel quite comfortable and trust that no one's ever going to see these photos. The following year, I win Miss America. Meanwhile, after I win Miss America, this photographer, he ended up going from magazine to magazine. He went to Playboy. Playboy said they wouldn't really, buy them, these photos. And he ended up going to Penthouse, and Penthouse said, sure, we'll do it.
Vanessa Williams made history in 1984 as the first Black Miss America. Less than a year later, unauthorized nude photos were published in Penthouse, whipping up a media storm and pressuring her to resign. Williams relinquished her crown and it passed to Suzette Charles, exposing how quickly celebration can turn into public shaming. The photos hit in the final stretch of her reign when she had little room to maneuver. Decades later, the Miss America organization issued a formal apology for how she was treated, but the scandal hit fast and followed her everywhere. Rob Lowe underage sex tape scandal.
Did you ever watch your co-star Rob Lowe's sex tape from back in the 80s?
Oh my God! Oh my God, at my day.
You must have, in the 80s, you must have seen it.
I definitely saw some of it.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I got sober. You know, it's like I like woke up one day and was like, what am I doing with my life? And I'm, 29 years in, I don't like people talk about. I go, I think it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Honestly, I do, because got me sober got me married. Been married 29 years, and I have 2 great sons. I don't think any of that happens without going through that scandal.
In 1988, Rob Lowe was 24, a Brat Pack fixture, and suddenly the subject of one of Hollywood's earliest leaked sex tape headlines. The footage was filmed in Atlanta during the Democratic National Convention and involved 2 women, one of whom was 16. The underage detail detonated the story, and Lowe insisted he did not know her age at the time. Reports said he met the women during a nightclub night out, and the legal dispute was later settled out of court. Legal trouble followed, and the scandal cooled his career for a period, with the humiliation playing out in public. Matthew Broderick, Jennifer Grey, fatal crash. Just after Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey took a trip to Northern Ireland and rented a BMW for a countryside drive. After stopping at a gas station to wait out some heavy rain, Broderick drove on, and the car collided head-on with another vehicle, killing Margaret Doherty, 63, and her daughter Anna Gallagher, 28. Reports said Broderick had driven into the oncoming lane, possibly from habit after years of driving on the right in the United States, while Ireland drives on the left. Both actors were injured, and Broderick was ultimately convicted of careless driving and fined. Jim Bakker, PTL fraud scandal.
I taught people to get rich, and I felt that God wanted them to prosper. But as I studied the Bible, I realized that Christ had nothing really good to say about wealth.
He needs to come clean about Jessica Hahn and repent. He needs to acknowledge these homosexual problems dating back from 1956 to the present time as they've been alleged to us. And he needs to return the millions of dollars.
Jim Bakker was found guilty on all 24 counts of wire and mail fraud and conspiracy.
Jim and Tammy Faye Bakker built their PTL empire on a glossy, wholesome image, which made the late 1980s collapse feel especially shocking. Investigations revealed major accounting problems, and Jim was accused of using ministry funds as hush money connected to church secretary Jessica Hahn. In 1989, Jim was indicted on fraud and conspiracy charges, and the story became a spectacle of televangelism, money, and hypocrisy colliding in public. The fallout split the couple, sent Jim to prison, and Tammy later divorced him and remarried. Sean Penn assault charge spree.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get the f*** out! I remember your face.
They said that it was, attempted murder. And so they put us in literally, Barney Fife's jail. And I'm looking around this cell, I'm thinking, okay, is there anybody out there? There were people that knew we were there because I was working on a thing. But that could be hours. Do I get a phone call? Do I get anything?
Sean Penn's 1980s reputation was built on intense performances and real-world volatility, with multiple assault cases feeding the tabloid narrative. Several incidents involved journalists and photographers trying to capture him with Madonna, including clashes in 1985 and 1986 that resulted in charges, fines, and suspended sentences. His trouble escalated again in 1987 when he punched a film extra on the set of Colors, which led to arrest, probation trouble, and a 60-day jail sentence, though he served only part of it. The pattern kept him in headlines, and it hardened his image as Hollywood's combustible bad boy. Corey Feldman parents' lawsuit scandal.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures. I got legally emancipated by going to the Producer's Pension Health and Welfare Plan myself at 14 years old and saying, what were my earnings and what's left? Earnings, by the time I was 13 years old, $1 million, which is really not that much money, but in those days it was, in the late 70s, early 80s, that was a good chunk of change.
And how much was left?
$40,000. And guess what? When I went in for the emancipation trial, my father said, since I spent my time with you on your last film and took it away from my office where I should have been focused, instead, I'm going to ask you for that $40,000 back as repayment for the money that I lost in my business.
You had to pay your dad?
Correct. You can check the court filings.
Corey Feldman was a teen idol by the late 1980s and had reportedly earned around $1 million by age 15. When he pursued emancipation in 1987, he alleged that his parents had mismanaged his earnings so badly that he was left with about $40,000. Feldman later described a brutal detail. He still needed his parents' signatures to complete emancipation, and he said his father held out until Corey signed over what remained, leaving him broke at 15. The story widened public awareness of how child actors could be financially trapped, and Feldman later connected that chaos to the darker pressures surrounding young fame. Ben Johnson Olympic doping scandal.
It was necessary at the time. I didn't have any second opinion. I was a young boy. And that's it. Then, I win the gold medal and I lost it. So that's life.
979! Win 1.1. That's legal.
Like, did anybody come to your defense at that time?
Nobody, just my mother and Jesus Christ.
At the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, Ben Johnson won the 100 meters in a blistering 9.79 seconds, a world record, and became a national hero in Canada. Days later, his celebration collapsed when his drug test came back positive for stanozolol, an anabolic steroid. He was disqualified and stripped of the gold, and the fastest man in the world became the center of a global argument about performance enhancement. The shockwave spread quickly, with other elite performances suddenly viewed through a suspicious lens. Izzy Stradlin plane urination arrest.
In yet more Guns N' Roses news, guitarist Izzy Stradlin, accused of urinating in the galley of an airplane en route from Indianapolis to Los Angeles 2 months ago, came up before a judge in Phoenix, Arizona yesterday and got off with a $2,000 fine and 6 months probation. Stradlin, who had been drinking on the plane and apparently couldn't gain access to a toilet, was taken off the plane during a stopover in Phoenix by FBI agents, who informed him that his behavior constituted a federal offense of interfering with the duties of a flight crew. However, under the terms of a pretrial plea bargain, he was allowed to plead guilty to lesser charges of smoking during a non-smoking flight. Stradlin also agreed to spend 4 months in an alcohol treatment program.
If you look at G&R, how we started, it was just, 2 guitars, bass, drums, and vocals. And we played wherever we could, wherever we could get a gig. If you look at Guns N' Roses, I don't think anybody had any idea it was gonna explode like it did, But it was just always wound up, to the point of just snapping. Always, we put out some cool records, and I think we broke some good ground, and I think we stirred some shit up, so to speak, at the time. And I just look back and say, that was a great thing, You get to the point where you're like, am I going to carry on like this or am I not, And I said, I'm not.
Some 1980s scandals were tragic or political, but this one was pure cringe-inducing chaos. In 1989, Guns N' Roses guitarist Izzy Stradlin was arrested after a domestic flight that reportedly involved him verbally abusing a flight attendant, smoking in a non-smoking area, and then urinating on the galley floor in front of other passengers. When the plane landed during a Phoenix layover, police took him into custody for causing a public disturbance, and he ended up with probation. It was the kind of rock star meltdown with zero glamour and maximum embarrassment, the kind of story that makes you laugh and wince at the same time. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these 1980s scandals do you remember hearing about first, and which one still makes you shake your head the most today?